Okay, so we're going to start here. I've set up our first drill that we're going to work on, and I've got this ruler here. And the biggest thing that we're going to try and figure out right now is a consistent setup position for Colton's golf ball every time. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have Colton get into a really comfortable position, something that he could hit putts for an hour. And we're going to measure the distance between his feet and where that golf ball is, because it should be the same every single time. Like that? Really good putt. Just came up a little short. We're going to go ahead and hit one more in that same spot. Perfect. Ball was rolling end over end. That spot. Go ahead and set up one more time, Colt. A little closer there that time. So I think actually you're good on the 10-inch spot. Yeah. So where this is, should be the top. I got you. Right? Yep. So you want essentially there to say here. I got you. That is 10 inches from the center of the ball. The reason that's so important is I think most amateur players change their ball position a lot. So they've got a short putt, they tend to get a little bit closer to the ball. Well, when you're close to it, you're going to hit it off the heel, hit it left most of the time. And then they've got a longer putt, they get further away from the ball, you're going to hit it off the toe and it's going to come up short. So we want to make sure that every putt we have is 10 inches from the golf ball. Colton's set up, and he's the line where his feet are is 10 inches from that golf ball. And it should be the same every single time, whether it's a short putt, long putt, intermediate, doesn't matter. Because we're going to make a lot more putts when our setup is consistent, because we're going to hit the center of the golf club. That's going to put a much better roll on it. So what we're working on here is just making sure we're rolling it end over end. It's a really good position. It's consistent. You'll just make putts all day. Another thing we're working on here with this drill, you can see we've got 2 tees in the ground. That's our gate drill. Tiger Woods does this all the time. Making sure that you're not hitting either the inside tee or the outside tee, making sure your putter can come straight through that gate every time. Again, that's going to be a consistent roll on the ball. Colton's hitting some really nice putts right now. We know that he didn't hit one of the tees, so his putter came straight through there, hit it in the center of the club, made another one. Let's see him hit one more. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, now we're going to work on a little bit of golf philosophy. It's going to tie into our course management and everything like that. So pretty much, if I get any of my students out here, I'm going to tell them to putt with one golf ball, right? A lot of people come out to the golf course, putt with multiple golf balls. You know, you're doing things differently there than you would on the golf course, and we call it transfer practice. Anything you can do here in your practice, it's going to be the exact same way as you do it on the golf course. That's going to transfer much, much better. So Colton's one of my former students, so he knows, come out, really focus on, you know, doing things on the putting green just the same way as you would on the golf course. That starts with putting with one ball. It's okay to use multiple balls if you've got a specific drill that you're doing, sort of around the world type thing. We've got a few set up here for a 20, 30, 40 foot drill, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. That's just one of my pet peeves of golf, I think. Another philosophy that we're going to talk about, we're going to focus on this one a lot right now, is distance control, and how you can use your feet to judge the distance when you're out there hitting putts out on a putting green. So if we've got a putt, it's average length, 5 to 10 feet, we'd set up here, nice neutral stance, just like we were on that last drill with Colton, probably 10 inches away from the ball, and we'd hit that putt. If we had a short putt, say we're 4 or 5 feet from the hole, all we're going to do is keep our feet closer together. Okay, we still want to stay 10 inches away from the ball, but we're going to use our feet If our feet are close together, we're not going to take a big stroke and slow it down. We're just going to take our nice standard swing, good pace. Don't let it come too much past that back foot. Use the feet to kind of judge that distance. You're never going to hit it way too far if your feet are a lot closer together. And then you've got a longer putt, say 30, 40, 50 feet. You can spread your feet out, still staying 10 inches away from the ball. You're going to use your feet again to kind of gauge that distance. How far back am I taking that putter? Okay, that's going to help me judge those longer putts. Spread my feet out, give yourself a little bit more dominant stance. Go ahead and hit a few of those putts. So when I tell that to people, you have to explain one thing, and this is the drill that we're going to work on right now, and it's uphill and downhill putts. These are both 10 feet apart, but this one's downhill, so all we're going to do on these downhillers is keep our feet a little bit closer together, back and through. Same length putt, but going back up the hill, spread your feet out just a little bit more, and that's going to help you get it up the hill. It's got more momentum. So we're going to go ahead and work on that here real quick with Colton. Go ahead and set up with that one. Spread your feet out just a little bit more than they were on that last drill we were doing. Maybe not that wide. Yeah, perfect. Right to the back of the foot and through. Really nice finish position there. Now head up to this one and we'll hit the downhiller. He's going to keep his feet much closer together. He doesn't want to hit it quite as hard. And limiting that putting stroke is really going to do that. We're using our feet to gauge that putting stroke. Keep your feet a little bit closer. Closer. There we go. Can really help you dial in as far as distance control goes. Keep your feet a little bit shorter for short putts. Spread them out if you got a little bit longer putt, or up or downhill. And you'll keep that ball much closer to the hole. Okay, now we're going to implement some of that distance control. We're going to do another drill here. Phil Mickelson does this drill a lot. It's distance control. We're going to tee set up at 20, 30, and 40 feet. And our whole goal is to get it into this ring back here. All we're going to try and do is get it into this ring back here. If you can get your first putt into this ring, it's about 3 feet wide, you're going to be a really good two-putter. Okay, you're not going to lose a lot of strokes on the putting green by hitting it past, back and forth, 3, 4, 5 putts later. Okay, you want to eliminate that. So the way to do this drill, you start in the middle, 30 feet, then you go to the front one at 20, and then come back to 40. Don't go 20, 30, 40. Don't go 40, 30, 20. You're going to give yourself a rhythm. Again, you want to do it like you would on the golf course. So we're going to read this putt, take a couple practice strokes, and go ahead and hit it right into our circle. See if we can get these 2 putts dialed in. Front and then back. That was perfect. Again, Colton's rolling it really well. Made all 3 in the circle first try. Used his feet a little bit, as you can see, as he stepped up to the 20-footer, his feet were a little bit closer together. Okay, as he stepped back to the 40-footer, a little bit more dominant stance, spread the feet out a little bit more. Distance control was on point. That's what we're looking for. All right, we're going to do one more drill before we wrap things up here with Colton. This one's kind of fun. He could win $1 if he putts well enough, so there's a little bit of incentive there. So what this drill is, I call it the quarter drill. We're going to start from literally a quarter length away from the cup, and we're going to hit that We're going to start there. We're going to flip our quarter every putt we make and see how far away from the hole we can get. Go ahead, Colt. If you make it a foot, which would be 12 flips, then you make your first quarter. There's one. Flip it over, hit it again. 2. Seems really easy until you start working your way further from the hole. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. I've seen this drill cure the yips one time. And one time trying this drill, in the first foot, you're going to make 12 putts right in a row. What's the best thing to do to gain confidence on the putting green? Make some putts. Is that 10? Yep. That's 12. A quarter is essentially exactly an inch. So Colton's now a foot away from the hole. He's just won that first quarter. Now we're going to see if we can go to 2 feet. There you go. I like it. 1. Now we'll count over to 12. He makes it to 2 feet. He gets another quarter. Starts to get really tricky once you get past that 2 foot mark. Get to 2 to 3 feet, it's tough to make 10 in a row. 12 in a row. Also, what this is doing, since Colton leaves the quarter on the ground, he's making sure that he's hitting that golf ball on the way up, putting a really nice roll on it. That's what you want to do. Get the ball started rolling as quickly as possible, hit up on it just slightly, and that's what having that quarter right behind the golf ball is going to do for you. Rory McIlroy stacks 3 quarters behind his ball and hits putts like that because he wants to hit it right at the equator. So yeah, 7. 1 more. 12. Colton just made 24 putts in about 2 minutes. Earns another quarter. I only brought 4 out because I've never seen anybody go over 4 feet, so we'll see if Colton can do that. One. It's also helping his setup. If you notice, he's putting the line on the ball same way every time. Getting into that position that's 10 inches away from the ball. Yep. Putt's starting to break a little bit more, getting a little bit more challenging. 5. You want to get a lot of confidence in your short putting. This is a good drill. You're going to make a lot of putts in a short amount of time. That's being very efficient with your practice. A lot of people aren't very efficient with their practice. This is a good drill to help that. So Colton made it about 2.5 feet, missed that one, and the drill's over. That's okay. The challenge is to see how far you can go. Like I said, no one's ever gone over 4 feet, so we'll see if at some point somebody breaks that record. But till now, Colton just made about 30 putts in a row. So good job, Colton. You won 50 cents? 75 cents Colton made. No, you didn't win that last one.
Oh, all right, I guess.
50 cents, you can go buy a cup of coffee. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for our putting session. That's the first in this 5-lesson series. Colton did really great today. Biggest things we worked on, okay, that setup position. You want to be in that same exact position every single time, okay? Colton's going to work on that over the off season, right? In his house, on the rug. Get a ruler out. Make sure you're hitting putts from 10 inches every single time, or whatever your distance is. Make sure it's the same and it's consistent. On your short putts, don't get closer to the ball. On your long putts, don't get further away. You can use your feet to gauge the distance, but that's not changing how far away you are from the golf ball. So that's really what we focused on today. Colton did a really good job. We've got his stroke looking really good. He's going to work on it over the off season. He's going to come out in the spring. He's going to be playing really well. He's going to have the confidence to know that he can hit really nice straight putts, and he's in the same setup position every time. You've got that confidence on the putting green, it leads into all facets of your game. So that's why we start here. Start with your smallest swing. Make sure your setup's good here. That's going to lead into everything else you do on the golf course. So remember, do things the same way in your practice as you would on the golf course, and it's going to transfer better. Work on some things over the off season, come out in the spring, playing really good.